Hi everyone, this is EstaRa with a message for you today. I want to apologize profusely that I've not been here for a while. Today is September 14th, 2017. I have had crazy energy since the eclipse. So the eclipse was really powerful. I had, done a video for you, and I don't think I did one after that. I have been in excruciating back pain and really debilitating, to be quite honest. It's not just back, it's actually neck, and it's my whole spine. So when I had my car accident, the injuries were I had a concussion, mid back, low back, and neck. And they got increasingly worse around the eclipse. And I think it's because of the massive energy of the sun, also the solar flares that we've been having. But there's also a lot of chaos out in the world, and everybody's in if you will, a breaking down phase. And so I have been in terrible pain. So I've chosen to take care of me above and beyond everything. So please forgive me. And thank you to those of you I've had to cancel and reschedule. I thank you for honoring me for that. Because not only have I had back pain, I had family illness. So my mom has had some issues. My father has had some issues. My brother, my niece, everyone's been in crisis. And so I've been helping, but I've also been in pain. And so finally, the last couple weeks particularly, I've just taken care of me. I've been hurting. So I want to thank those of you who wrote me an email or message in the video regarding a couple healing opportunities. I thank you for that. I took one person up on it. I'm waiting to hear back from another one that I did take up on it. I really feel like a lot of stuff is being unearthed, right? So if it's being unearthed as a result of the eclipse, which is what we saw, like the opening of, the shadow coming, but then the sun opening up and revealing things. And that's exactly what's been happening. So I'm a little bit all over the place. I have about 20 minutes to talk to you before I have my client. And I'm trying to gather all this information that's been flying in my head for weeks. And so I'm going to try to catch us up as best as I can with regard to the Twinflame journey. So let's go back a little ways. I have channeled lots of information about how the Divine Masculine is going to be going through changes and that they were. Well, after I had channeled all that information over the last few weeks, I have gotten lots and lots of energy messages through clients, a lot of crisis calls, and it's from divine masculine energies. Even if they're feminine, I know their energy is divine masculine. And so that crisis energy is definitely kicking up. So your beloved, if you are a divine feminine, your beloved is going through crisis. And as I've said to people before, I hate I have to quantify this, but I want to because I recently had someone who totally didn't understand what I was trying to say. So as a divine feminine energy, you could be male or female. You don't have to be a female to have divine feminine energy. Divine feminine energy, when I say that, it particularly means the partner within the relationship that is carrying the frequency and vibration of the divine feminine qualities, compassion, intuition, cooperation, when I think of that. The divine masculine, it goes the same for the divine masculine. Divine masculine doesn't necessarily mean you're a male. It just simply means that you're carrying the energies of divine masculine, which is typically, and I'm just generalizing really quickly and just throwing some words out there. So divine masculine is take action, go forward. You're not really thoughtful. You're just acting typically. And the divine masculine is also more of a competitive energy. It's not so much cooperation. So I'm just throwing those out there really quick. That's general. That's very small. There's a lot more involved in that. But when I say divine feminine, it is the partner that is carrying that energy more. So in my twin flame relationship, I am the divine feminine, and I typically carry that much more. Now, it doesn't mean that I don't access the qualities of the divine masculine and I don't access the qualities that my divine masculine carries, because quite often I've noticed throughout the years that I've known him that my beloved, I actually access his energy for certain things that I'm doing. And there's different, so since we're one soul, we kind of use the same energy, right? We go back and forth and we reverberate in each other's reality. And so sometimes I express as a divine feminine, sometimes I express as a divine masculine, but the majority of time I am expressing as a divine feminine energy. So hopefully that makes sense to you. The divine masculine has been going through changes. So we're going back to that. Has been going through massive awakenings, earthquake-like awakenings. And when I say that to you, we see what's happening internally with all of us, with the earth, what is going on in the earth, the turmoil, the stress, the chaos, the emotions. And I know there's other things creating that. So it's not just like what's happening inside a human body, but let me tell you what's happening within our human bodies, the transformation and the changes and the challenges that have appeared is actually showing up in our reality externally. And so you were seeing it by the earth changes, the earthquakes, the hurricanes, the flooding, the fires. All of that is very much a reflection of what's happening in the evolution, the advancement, and the ascension of us divine humans, right? We're divine angelic crystal beings. And as we become more crystallized and our energy becomes more in alignment with Christ consciousness, I want to caution you. I'm saying Christ consciousness. I don't mean we're waiting for the Messiah to come. I'm not saying that to you to stir like a pot of religion. I don't mean it that way. What I mean by Christ consciousness is we are beginning to embody and attain Christ-like qualities. So when I think of Christ, I think of when I think of Christ consciousness, I think of healing and divine unconditional love, encompassing inclusion and all that love and that beauty and that healing. So we're beginning to embody those parts of us. That light is actually coming out of us now, and that's showing up. So that's the first kind of information I want to give you about Christ consciousness. So that's happening, and as we're embodying that, what does that mean? Well, as it's coming in, so the way that I've seen it, and I know I've shared this in a video before, maybe I didn't, so if I haven't, I'm sorry. There's so much that's going on in my head, and I'm trying to like throw this all in because it's the first chance I've actually felt well enough to sit upright for a little while to do this, and then I have a client. So we're stacking, right? So what's happening is the energy's coming. It's like stacking upon us, because if it's not penetrating through us easily and moving through us, it's going to hit our energy field and create upheaval, change, chaos, if you will, earthquake energy within us. And so for me, I have physical body stuff, and it's not because of just the car accident. I have had several traumas to my spine since I was 7 years old. And I'm actually, while I'm trying to heal it, the energy is coming in, and I actually believe what it's doing is it's actually moving through wherever it can, and where it gets stuck is where the pain is. And so as the pain is coming in, it's not that I'm getting new pain. It's literally unearthing the pain that's been kind of dormant, if you will, or has always been there, but's not really been addressed properly. Like I've not dealt with it the way that it needs to be dealt with. And it's literally awakening that within me so that I can move to the next level and I can heal. And I got to tell you, I've been really sad about it. I've cried about my body being in pain and not being able to do some of the things that I used to do, and fearing that I won't be able to. Yet, as I'm doing this with you today, I'm in channel, I'm in beautiful light, I feel like it's totally possible. I will completely heal, and it's okay. But I have to go through this. This is my unearthing, if you will. This is my healing journey. That's happening for me. I go over to my beloved, my twin. I'm not sure exactly what's happening for him on a physical level. But what I do know is on an emotional level, there's upheavals in his life. And I guarantee it's not looking pretty to him, and it's scary, and it's doing the same thing it's doing for my physical body. Like, I'm afraid there's a part of me that's like, oh my God, am I ever going to heal? Am I ever going to be okay again? I guarantee there's a part of him that says, am I ever going to get out of this? Am I ever going to be okay again? Am I ever going to be happy? I'm sure that's part of what's going on with him, because he's having his emotional upheavals. So for him, he may have dealt with his physical stuff, but he has not dealt with his emotional stuff. And from what I know about our journey and what I know about him, he's not dealt with a lot of his emotional stuff. He's really suppressed it. A lot of his mental belief systems and his emotional stuff, that's coming up for him, and it's creating more of a sadness. And we have been bouncing this back and forth the last month. I mean, there's days that I'm like eating crap. And I say crap, by the way. The way I eat is so freaking healthy. If you ask any of my friends, they're going to be like, yeah, her idea of crap is like maybe potato chips or eating like a banana, you know? So to me, crap is not the typical crap that everybody else eats in the world. When I eat bad, it's eating a little extra fruit or a little extra carb, you know, and I say a little extra. I barely eat that stuff. So when I do eat it, I'm snacking on it and I'll crave it. And so when I do reach for that, if I don't catch myself, I'll eat it. But if I catch myself, I'll ask if it's mine. And quite often it's not mine, or it's my twins. And it's just like finding that little place inside of me that resonates with that icky feeling. And then I'm like, okay. And so what we're doing, he and I are sending that energy back and forth. He's been in really bad emotion. I've noticed some words that I've spoken and said. He's been in that same space, and he probably is saying those same things. I'm not really in total communication with him, so I don't really know that's what he's saying on a human level. But I promise you, every single time I've ever felt something for my twin, what's been happening with him, I've always received confirmation for what I was getting. So that's, and I mean from him, like from his mouth, from his words, from his feelings, all that stuff, I've been getting, I get confirmation. So I know I'm not off on this, and I know that I'm right. It just, quite honestly, kind of sucks to feel all the feelings, but we have to feel them. I also want to say that with the crisis calls I've been getting, the clients I've been getting, Divine Masculine particularly, they have been in a really dark space, really scared of the future. And it's kind of like what I've seen is these are things they've been dealing with for a long time. But when I say dealing, it's pushing it away, distracting, finding another way to heal it, finding another way to take care of it, but not actually working on it. So these Divine Masculine men or females, Divine Masculine energies are really having to deal with their stuff. They're not allowed to escape anymore. They're not allowed to run away. I know they want to, and I don't blame them, because I've been on this journey a long time, and my healing process has not always been easy. And so when I think about what they're going through, it's very scary. And so I've had a few clients, like, in some ways confirm for me what's been going on. And it's funny because I asked Spirit, all this information I'm giving, am I even making any freaking sense to people? Does it actually resonate with them? Does it actually help them? Am I getting accurate information, or am I crazy? Because I haven't had contact with my twin. I don't know if that's really what's happening. I don't know if what I'm picking up is always what is truth. And I got so much confirmation that I am exactly right with what I've been picking up on the Divine Masculine. It's funny with my guides. I feel like they always give me confirmation. I always get it from clients, friends, everybody. And I get the confirmation not because they all think I need it, but Spirit thinks I need it, because a lot of times I doubt myself and I don't always trust it because I'm human, I'm still human. I'm like, wow, that makes sense to me, but is it real? Like, am I really getting stuff? And so I've been getting that. And I want to share that with you because I feel like, please hear what I've said in my previous videos. So if you haven't listened in a while, go back and listen to some of them, because they're very accurate about what's happening with the Divine Masculine. They are literally unearthing stuff inside of them that they have to deal with. They can't, and it's old stuff. It's not even, it's things that on the surface, it appears as if they've dealt with it. So when I say that, they may have distracted, they may have pushed it away, they may have done a little therapy around it, they may have talked about it a little bit, but they thought, okay, I'm done then. But they're not. That's unearthing. The same thing with my body. And I'm using myself as an example, and so bear with me with that. Same thing with my body. I've done so much work on my body. When I went to this new doctor that I started seeing recently, I said, I just cried. I said, I'm in so much pain. I don't really know what else to do. And I feel it's structural because I've had so many traumas and it's not getting better. And so they asked me, what have you done? I said, I have done everything. So I started listing things off. I said, and I've done things that you would probably never even heard of, but I've done them all. And I have, because of the world I'm in. I prefer doing alternative, natural, esoteric, ancient ways of healing than the traditional new the medical world way. Like, I don't do medicines. I don't do all this stuff. I can't physically. My body and light body cannot handle like medications. Oh my God, it cannot handle medications. I've learned that very well. Because I tried to take a muscle relaxer. Yeah. I am taking the lowest dose possible. I took the lowest dose possible, sliced it in half, and I still couldn't function for like 2-3 days. It's ridiculous. So that is not going to happen anymore because it doesn't make me feel okay, and I don't like that not feeling okay. Though it was needed, and so we're trying to figure out another way of handling that. I have another doctor's appointment to help me with a new doctor to assist me with that, working on that problem, because it's been very painful. The other so what's happening is it's literally dealing with old stuff. So like my injury was recent, right? 2013 is when I had the accident, but that's not when that's not really all the core issues related with it. So it starts way back when I was young, and I thought I dealt with it. I did, I learned yoga, and ever since I learned yoga and I walked all the time and I hiked all the time, my body was good and it could cope. But this last time around, it's not coping. And so there's got to be something that I didn't see that's being unearthed now. And so I am working on that right now. So it's the same for you. You may not have a physical problem. You may have a physical problem. And if you do, by all means, please find out what it is and work through it. I mean, I will be happy to help you through sessions. I mean, I am available for sessions. I am limited in my availability for sessions, but I am totally willing to work with you and assist you to look in and see what's going on, because honestly, nobody should suffer. We have to help one another, and that's really necessary, and we need another set of eyes looking in. And I know for myself that I'm a amazing healer. I've been helping people forever, and I've been helping myself. So when I say amazing healer, I've healed me with so many things, and yet there's things I can't see or do for myself. And so I ask for help, and I find people who help me, and it's amazing and wonderful, and I'm blessed and grateful. So I'm saying that to you because I want you to look inside of you and recognize that maybe there's something you can't do. Seek help. You can come to me or someone else, but please do that, because we need to. And it might not be physical. It might just be an emotional or mental belief that you're getting stuck in, like a programming that gets caught. Or it might be even a spiritual past life thing, because I have to tell you, when I started working on some of the neck stuff going on with me, I literally saw where my neck was cut, my throat was cut. And I was like, holy crap, I thought I dealt with that lifetime. Clearly I did not. So that is more of what's going on, that unearthing. And so we're given this opportunity. Please take this opportunity. I took August to work on it, to like reveal, right? August was the revelation. September is the energy of about doing something with it, actively doing something. My guides had given me that the 6th to the 15th were going to be a very interesting time, very powerful time, really important time to look at stuff. So please pay attention to that period of time, because it's really, we're in it right now. And there's like a shifting occurring, and you're going to see things differently. You're going to experience things differently. Recognize you are in the new. You're not in the old energy. You might be carrying some of the old stuff to clear, right? So we're still clearing that. But you have entered a new energy, a new timeline, a new potential, a new possibility. Please see it that way, because the more of us seeing our new potential, new possibility in this timeline, and stop going back to what you used to know. Go into this new potential, new possibility, things being shown to you. Recognize that information is actually here to assist you and heal you on this journey. And when you see that it's new, things that were not available to you prior are now available to you and will come your way and show up for you. It's important to get rid of what you feel happened in the past. Now, I'm not saying, like, for example, I have to reiterate with doctors, a new doctor, I have to say this is what's wrong with me. And I'm doing that. But I'm remembering that my experience will be new and different. It's not the same. I can share what happened to me, but I also have to be open to recognize that this is a new experience, new place, new time. Being in the new timeline shifts and changes everything if you allow yourself to go there. So even if universe is saying, here you are, you're in a new timeline, but you're bringing that whole baggage and story with you, it's not, and you're only living and operating from that baggage and story, and you're seeing just that, then you're not going to have that new energy coming in. You're actually resisting it, if you will. So that's going to create havoc also. And a lot of divine masculine, that's what they're stuck in, those that are not awake. And I'm saying divine masculine because the majority of unawakened, they're awake. I don't want to say they're not awake, because they are. The majority of the slow turtle-paced people, or the snail-paced people, their majority are divine masculine, and that's because they've been really hooked into the physical paradigm of the 3D. And so because of that, it's a little bit more difficult for them, a little slower. That's really important for you to recognize as well, because bear with them. They're trying to catch up. They're trying to play catch up, right? But they have all this stuff coming in, and so they have to work through all this to get to the next place. So trust that and honor that with them. Understand that's where they are. Instead of being pressuring, be in that heart space with your twin and recognize that. I know it's not always easy to do. I know it's not always what you think and you feel at that moment, but try to go there, because that is the key. That is the most important spot for you to be in, is to come into your center and love them from there. Divine masculine energy, divine feminine energy. A lot of relationship stuff has been surfacing for people. That's also part of what's going on. So those who've been locked into the old paradigm, that's surfacing. They're getting scared, and they're not wanting to be where they are, but they don't know how to get out. That's something I've heard a lot. My beloved, for the years that I've known him, that's been his biggest thing. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to figure it out. I can't figure it out. I can't do it, you know. And it's actually not that they don't know, not that they are not capable. What they really know is that they actually have to go in and heal it, and they're scared of that. So the words "I don't know" usually come out of their mouth, or the words "I can't figure it out." It's not that they can't. They know what they need to do, but they're scared to go do it. The energy is like on their side to help them go do it. How can you help them go do it? If you're in contact and communication with them, working with them, understanding where they're at when they're talking and sharing with you, and owning that piece that you can help them with, but recognizing you have your needs to get met, and maybe leading them to someone that can help them differently than you can. You don't want to get in this energy where you're the caretaker and they're the ones to be cared for, because then that's an imbalance in your energy, and that's old paradigm. We don't want to be that. We want to be equals with one another. So recognize that, but recognize that if your beloved is going through this, that's where they are, and they need to be there right now. And you, the best job that you can do for them is take care of you, love you, honor yourself, and respect yourself enough to do what needs to happen for you, and step away if you have to. And it doesn't mean that you're abandoning them, doesn't mean you're leaving them, but what it means is that if you're not okay, you're actually making it even harder for them. So really focusing and honing in on what you need to do for you is key. And I know my guides have been saying this for months, years, but months to all of you. Like, it's really important that you're okay. So if you're not okay and all you're doing is reaching for your twin, why is my twin talking to me? Why am I not hearing from them? What is going on with them? What's in their world? If you're doing that, you're not taking care of you, because something inside of you needs to be healed, because what's going on with them reverberates into your reality. So it's always a back and forth, and they're going to jab you, you're going to jab them. And that's part of the journey, but it doesn't have to be anymore where it's back and forth, back and forth. It can be a balance, right? So it's you taking care of you and them taking care of them. Not saying we can't help them, but what I'm saying is that we have to work on us too, because if we're carrying that baggage, guess what? They're getting extra baggage too, and you're getting extra baggage. So removing your stuff is going to be key. Recognize that going forward. Also, if you're focusing on what's going on with them, what they're doing, all that stuff, then you're not focusing on what you need to do, because you need to approach your relationship with them from a very love-centered way, divine unconditional love. Having expectations of how they're going to act, feel, treat, or be with you is actually not divine unconditional love. Divine unconditional love is I love you no matter what. I love you. You've hurt me. You've turned away, but I love you still. You're in pain and I'm frustrated because you're not doing what I want you to do, but I love you still. That's divine unconditional love. So that's the other message my guides wanted me to give you. I'm going to have to stop because the time is going over. If I'm feeling well, I promise to come back in the next day or so. If not, I will get back to you as soon as I can. But for now, I send love to you. Namaste, my beautiful beings. Oh, and I want to say one more thing. We have the solstice coming, the equinox coming up on the 22nd. Be ready for that energy. Massive energy is coming in. I feel it moving inward right now. I know we're like over a week out, but it's already moving in. And that's like a huge shift. And I just heard the words, a breaking point. I don't know what that means yet. They're not telling me, but something has broken open. The breaking point is coming, and the shift is going to be happening after the equinox. So I send you love and light, and I promise to come back at some point soon. Again, thank you for honoring me and forgiving me for not being here for a while. Namaste. So much love and blessed union.